In this PowerPoint lecture, we're looking at types of biblical literature and the 5 keys to interpretation. When I was a boy, I had lots of interest in various types of rocks and how to identify them. And I learned to identify those rocks by type: quartz, shale, mica, pyrite, etc. And then later, as a teenager, I was in the 10th grade and I had a course called Natural Resources Management. One of the things I learned in that course was how to identify various types of trees. And I could look at the leaves, the bark, and sometimes the shape of the tree to determine if it was an oak, a maple, a birch, sycamore, or white pine, and so on. When interpreting the Bible, it's very important to know the various types or genres of biblical literature. Remember, there are 3 steps to digging into the Scripture. The first step is observation. The second step is interpretation. And the third step is application. As we move to the second step of this process, which is interpretation, let's consider the various genres of biblical literature. And I refer you to our text, Living by the Book, written by Howard Hendricks. And I want you to turn to pages 224 through 226 and notice the various types or genres of biblical literature. I'm going to mention each one of them, but I hope that you will take time to read a thorough explanation of each type of literature, because this is going to be very important in how you interpret a passage of Scripture. One type of biblical literature is apocalyptic. Another type is biography. Another type of biblical literature is called encomium. It's a very difficult word to pronounce. Also, exposition, narrative, oratory, parable, pastoral, poetry, prophecy, proverb, satire, tragedy, and wisdom literature. Be sure to read the explanation that Hendricks gives for each of these genres of biblical literature. Now let's move to the 5 keys to interpretation. The 5 keys to interpretation are content, context, comparison, culture, and consultation. And again, I refer you to the information that Hendricks gives in Living by the Book for further explanation.